Their new mother, normally the passenger or the pilot on this tractor. Good running machine here. The never say never.
I know you're about to start, but there's Rory.
All right, the folks from Titan International, maker of Goodyear farm tires with LSW technology. Gonna be walking around throwing out some goodies, but you got to make some noise. Throw your hand up in the air, yell for them, tell them you want some of what they're giving away there. They got T-shirts, hats, posters of Young Guns, some cups, etc.
Oh, Barry getting aggressive with it. He's on a roll. Oh, the track getting a hold of him, pulling him down right there. Three, 10, and 22. 3-1-0 and 22 for the never say never of Barry Peterson.
Once again, the folks from Titan International, Titan Tire, walking around, giving out some goodies. They got some posters there of our Young Guns. Titan is the sponsor of the Outlaws Young Guns program. Competitors with the Outlaws from ages 16 to 25 years old have formed their own group called the Young Guns. And Titan International, thankfully, has sponsored the Young Guns with the Outlaws. And we appreciate their involvement with the Outlaws and the Young Guns.
Oh, come on. You can make more noise than that, can't you? If y'all can't get any louder, we're just going to let them take it all over to the other side.
Modified tractors coming up next on the Ironman sled, 7,400-pound modified tractors. Jack Kielmeyer, Wayne Longnecker, Doug Both, Bill Prince, Kyle Petch, Cody Behrens, Corey Kielmeyer, Donald Nelson, Kent Urbon, Cameron Neves, and Craig Ulmer. That's your pulling order.
Larry Jester bringing out the Ford. Comes all the way from Whitewright, Texas to come up here and pull for you. He calls it trial and error. Larry purchased this machine earlier this year. Took it out. He hadn't pulled for quite a number of years. Been doing really good with the trial and error machine here. The big Ford spotting the sled over toward the far right side. That'll be interesting to see how it plays out for him.
Oh, it's time to get rowdy. We're going to get noisy. Jack Kielmeyer coming out first. Comes from Nerstrand, Minnesota.
Come on, make some noise for these folks down here from Titan Tire. Throwing out the hats, the T-shirts, the posters. Let's see if y'all can get louder than they did over here. We couldn't hardly hear them. Can you guys make any noise over here to our left? Here we go, the trial and error. Larry Jester out of Whitewright, Texas. Oh, trialing out of bounds right there. Oh, Larry goes out of bounds right there in the middle of the track.
Well, that's going to hold us up over here on the modified tractor side as he slung the rock sled over there onto the opposite track. Big Jack Kielmeyer, jacked up, relentless, taking a shot there. Comes out of Nerstrand, Minnesota. Two big Hemis. .64 feet, 313.64.
Joshua, how are you tonight, buddy?
Good, Jason. How are you?
Good. Welcome, everybody, to Outlawed Live. My name is Jason Schultz. We do this every Tuesday night. Ron Stone's going to try to jump on. He's on his way to a fair board meeting for a 2023 event. And right there, sitting on the track in Chickasha, Oklahoma, Thunder and Tornado Alley, an Outlaw announcer and an Outlaw promoter, Josh Runion from Chickasha, Oklahoma. Josh, thank you for announcing at Wisner. You and Ron sounded great all weekend long. And now it's I know what it's like to be a promoter and the week leading up to and the week afterwards. So right now you're all pumped up and adrenaline's like crazy high and you're pumped and having fun. And I love the fact that you're sitting on the track there right now. That's pretty neat. So let's before we get too much into Chickasha, I kind of want to recap a couple things from last weekend, and you help me out what you can with what you know. Give me 1 second here. I want to bring up our ticker for the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. I'm going to put you. There we go. Well, I want to show some video at the same time. There's a way to do it, Josh. I promise. Got to get smart enough to do all that stuff. I think I can do that. There we go. Let's just do this. Well, so we got some Wisner replay just kind of playing in the background. If you have not checked out outlawpulling.tv yet, you're missing out. I think it's $39 a month, and you can watch every pull live. You can go back and watch it up to a year. So I really encourage everybody to check out outlawpulling.tv. So first things first, so glad to see Glenn Freeze at the Iowa State Fair. We all know Glenn's been fighting cancer. I talked to him a little bit. He said he was diagnosed, I think, in February or March of this year, and it did not look good at all. I mean, we were all very, very concerned. Talking about it, we all have our Pulling for Glenn stickers on our trucks and our tractors, and they've been doing some amazing things at Mayo up in Rochester, and Glenn looks good. He feels good. He was a little sore, he said, because he had a treatment or whatever, and they said they were stretching him and bending him, and so he was a little sore from all that. But that was my biggest happy moment at the Iowa State Fair. The president of the Iowa Tractor Pullers being there and putting on the event, and they really rallied because they got all that rain on Monday, way more than they thought they were gonna, Josh. And then Tuesday morning they brought in a bunch of wood chips and the pits dried out, and it was the track was good this year. You know, I think that was the main thing, Josh, everybody was concerned about because it was so new last year that it really wasn't a power track at all. But no, Ron and I were announcing that on Tuesday. We said a couple times, I think people are trying to run the gears they ran here last year, and they were falling down on horsepower, or falling underneath the turbocharger or choking it down like on a truck or a mod or something like that. So good to see that. Bad news, Jim Birch, one of our tech officials, was a flag guy, got sideswiped by the skid steer. I don't know the whole story, but the skid steers have the jib on the front of them, and it swung and hit Jim, I think, right behind the leg. And he texted me tonight. I got an update for you, for him, and I am going to put Jim's cell phone number in our chat here if you'd like to just send him a positive text. Because one of the things that Glenn Freeze told me was him sitting in the hospital watching tractor pulling videos and watching Let's Grow Pulling and watching Outlaw Live kind of kept him going and kept him motivated. Not motivated, Josh, but took his mind off of the cancer.
Right, kept his spirits up some.
So it's important that we do all of that. So this is from Jim Birch directly. Hey, Jason, my update is that I had a 7-hour surgery yesterday putting pins and screws in. Tomorrow I have a skin graft surgery. I'm still in Des Moines at the Mercy Hospital. Maybe get out next week. So, so I'm going to put Jim's cell phone number in the comments. If everybody doesn't mind just shooting him a text message. Hey, Jim, hope you're doing good. We're thinking of you. You guys know what to say, but that's going in the chat right now. So I'd like everybody just to send him. So that was crappy but accidents happen. There's so many things going on at one time in a truck or tractor pull, and you always got to have your head on a swivel, if you know what I mean. And sometimes you can have it on a swivel and not know and be careful. And the tech officials have always been in harm's way, Josh. Let's be real. Out in front of a tractor, something can explode. Down there at the end of the track, something can explode. Skid steers, there's a lot of moving equipment. So just very, very unfortunate that happened to Jim at the fair. But still just super happy he's okay. I mean, it's bad, but it's not like it's life or death, Josh. So that's the best thing about that. So I have Jim's cell phone number up there on the screen. If you could, if everybody could just grab that, shoot him a text and think of him. And then Lori Bauer's mother-in-law passed away. Is that right, Josh?
Her mother.
Her mother passed away. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I believe the funeral is tomorrow in Humboldt, Iowa. There's been some updates on the Facebook page for all of you to go on and check that out as well. So Lori runs the Outlaws. I mean, Kurt owns it. Dave's an owner of it, but Lori runs it. And it was obviously Ron,
Absolutely.
but we call Lori. You know how the football players, Ron, always say the Ohio State. I always say the Lori Bauer, and she kind of chuckles at me. But everybody knows what I'm talking about. Without her, this would be unorganized. I mean, it's all pulling events are organized chaos as it is, but without Lori helping the Outlaws, it wouldn't be good at all.
Yeah, she's the one that, you know, for those that don't know what she actually does behind the scenes, not only is she there 3 or 4 hours doing registration and getting all that ready, she's there up in the booth with us, keeping the app updated with all the live results and everything, all of that you guys can see and get through all the programs and platforms we're on. All that happens because of Lori. She is a huge, huge asset to the association.
Yeah, she is, absolutely. So, again, our thoughts go out to Jim Birch. Shoot him a text message. If anybody wants that, they can get a hold of me as well. Thoughts with Lori Bauer with her mom passing away. And then, of course, just so happy to see Glenn Freeze at the Iowa State Fair. And then to see a good track. And then, Josh, the crowd was better than last year on Tuesday. And then it was full on Wednesday. So, I mean, that's for year 2. And I think the polling in the Iowa State Fair had been gone for 5 years, Josh. I really do. So for that to kind of get back, and that Elwell family that did that was amazing. And then the Titan Tire Young Guns with the pedal pull. We put a really cool YouTube video up on that. I shared that to the Outlaw page tonight. So I might run that at the end. But just so many things going on, and sometimes we get so excited to talk about the next event that we don't do a good enough job reviewing, you know, kind of what happened the last week. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
yeah, I didn't. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the state fair this year, but I listened to 90% of it. Didn't get to watch it all while I was at work, but I was listening to it. Seemed like a much better event, or I don't want to say a better event, but you know, last year was the first time they had done it for a while with the Outlaws. And just like here in Chickasha, you know, everything, the first year is always the toughest.
Yep.
They seem to have things figured out a lot better this past year and seemed to go better. The track seemed much better from what
I had. So I have 3 setups for the Remedy. Josh, I got great track, good track, and black dirt track. And I had my good setup. And if that zip tie, if Dad tightens that zip tie and I remember to double check, we could have been in the top 3 for sure. I mean, just the way he was hooked up and going, but that's how pulling goes. But to my point is, I am a puller and I know how to read a track for the most part. I'm not the best at it, but we had it set up for a good track, and it picked the front end up nice. And that's kudos to Glenn and everybody for putting that track together. For honestly, to get it that good for year 2, I was surprised. When I initially went up there, everybody said, "Oh, the track's better this year. The track's better this year." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." You know, just because it takes time. And then I moved 200 more pounds to the nose when after I watched the first couple 4-1s hooks. So I knew it was legit. So yeah, Philip, I'm not going to play the tractors. This is something I wanted to try tonight, was let the video play in the background. But I'm not going to have the noise of the tractors because you can't hear Josh and I, and we're promoting the Outlaws. But if you want to hear the tractors, Philip Ott, you can go to outlawpulling.tv and you can hear all the tractors and the trucks that you want. So we do this every Tuesday night, and I've always wanted to try this, run the video in the background, because I think it's exciting and that's what people want to see. But at the same time, Josh and Ron and I are trying to get information out to the pullers to preview upcoming events and review past last week's events as well. So that's what we got going on there. But
and
again,
you know, Jason, one more thing I would touch on with the Iowa State Fair and the comments that have been made in the past about the track and the way that they were able to turn it around this year. You know, you got to think they're really starting to step behind the game compared to most of us because of it just being an afternoon event.
Yep.
An afternoon track is hard to get great anywhere.
Yep.
So for them to make the improvements they did, I can't wait to see what 2023 brings up there.
Well,
I think it's just going to be better and better every year. Yeah,
it's always going to have to be an afternoon event, guys, because of the the amount of fans that go. I think ZZ Top was there Wednesday night, Josh, and Alanis Morissette was there Tuesday night, or maybe it was Monday, Tuesday, but there was, I think, 30,000. I think there's 30,000 fans on the grandstands for Alanis Morissette. So I understand why the Iowa State Fair, until we can get 30,000 fans at a tractor pull, we're going to have to run the afternoon session. But I think, I don't know if Glenn's watching tonight. I know they commented on there. I know somebody commented that the freezes are here, but I would say that big grandstand probably holds 4,000 people, Josh, at the fair, and it was pretty full on Wednesday. I don't know any final numbers. I got loaded up and headed for Hart's Diesel right away to rebuild my turbo so I could make it to Wisner. You know what I mean? So I didn't really get to stick around and hang out like I wanted to and talk with everybody. 4,000. Okay, that's freezes. So to my point, it's always going to be an afternoon event, but they can have a good track like that during the day. And it was warm. Josh, it wasn't as warm as last year, but it was warm and there was a nice breeze. So sun and wind are typically bad for a pulling track. So my point is they did a really, really good job with it. And pro stocks were there, mods were there, all the unlimited supers, all the big heavy horsepower classes were there, and they were able to get up there. Yeah, that's the capacity of the Elwell. And there's a lot of standing room only, Josh, around the starting line in there. And then the feller from ZZ Top, John Gibbs or Bobby Gibbs or whatever. I'm not a big ZZ Top guy, but Ron Stone knows everybody about music. He actually watched the pull on Tuesday, Josh.
I heard that.
Schaefer Dave got a picture with him. And Schaefer Dave, we did Outlawed live last Tuesday night from the announcer stand and just grabbed a lot of pullers that came up there. And Schaefer Dave came up. And because it was funny, Josh, people were coming, what are you guys doing up here? I'm like, hey, welcome to Outlawed Live. Have a seat. So we worked them on there. And then just to move it into Wisner, Josh, I'd never been to Wisner. It was everything that people say about it. The staging area, the track it took power. How kind of the bowl that people kind of sit on the hill, and then the live music afterwards, the great parking. It's legit, and it's legit. It's very, very, very good. And the chief of police is super nice because I took my Kawasaki UTV right down Main Street, and you're not supposed to do that. And he kindly told me not to do that again and didn't give me a ticket. So I was quite impressed with that. And so
I tried to avoid them this year. So
understood. That was only a year ago, Josh. So
yeah, I know. But now Wisner's a great event. I mean, this was only the second year I've got to attend it, and it was everything I've ever heard and then some. The venue is awesome. The pits are nice. The weather was fantastic this year. It was nice and cool throughout the day. I don't think it ever got over maybe 85. The way the track's laid out, doesn't matter really where you're sitting. You can see everything on both tracks with it being on the banks there like that. Plenty of good food, good people. Just a fantastic time up there.
And that setting by the river is amazing. And Mark Ham, what he did with the Super Farm tractors, I know you saw it because you photobombed one of them. I'm going to put this photo up right. He got all the Super Farm tractors lined up and put them at the starting line or down by the river. And this is so cool. So he was all the tractors there. And then he actually has a video on his Facebook page last night that we shared as well, showing that, showing them all starting up and kind of rumming around a little bit. So go check out Ham Boys. Let me read off his official Facebook page here. Give me a second. Motorsports photos by Ham Boys Racing Toys. So go check that out on the Facebook. I'll throw that in the comments for everybody as well, so you can check that out. It's important that we that when we see anything on pulling that you like, comment, and share. Like there are a lot of people watching the show right now that never been to an Outlaw pull because they live in Ohio or Indiana or New York, but they're watching it because it's on the Beer Money page or it's on the Beer Money, YouTube or whatever, as well as the Outlaw page. It's important that we all work together to like, comment, and share anything we see on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, because that drives the algorithm. And if anybody ever wants me to bore them, I can explain to them what an algorithm is and how it works. But basically, if you put a post up or a picture or a video and it gets a lot of likes, comments, and shares, Facebook or that platform will show it to more people, which is good for the sport of pulling and shows it out there more. Because every day we get a comment, Josh, where I didn't even know that was going on this weekend, or I didn't know there was an event in Chickasha, Oklahoma this weekend, and you're going, what? I got radio, I got paper, I got Facebook, I got stuff hanging at O'Reilly's, I got stuff everywhere. But you know what I mean? So it's really important that because we can all be on social media and it's all very free to do that. So I really, really, really want to stress that. Yeah, Brad just says, or South Carolina, too far to see. But that's what makes it great for outlawpulling.tv. And the one thing I love about outlawpulling.tv, you can hear the announcers, Josh. You can hear you and Ron talking. It's like you're being there. It's almost as good as being there. So
yeah, I mean, there's nothing that can replace being there in person.
Right.
But honestly, it's the best seat in the house because you can kick back in the air conditioner at your own place where you got everything you might want. Sit there, watch the show. Obviously, you don't get some of the sounds and the smells that you get being there, but it's a fantastic platform. It really is.
Yeah, and this is how easy it is to use. So here's the Iowa State Fair. There's the Black Knight before the show. Again, I'm not going to turn the sound on just because, but that's the Elwell Family Center right there. This grandstand holds about 4,000 people. I don't know if I clicked on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm sorry, I didn't even check. But if we see the grandstands fill in, we'll know it's Wednesday. I feel like this is Wednesday, but I'm not 100% sure. But the Black Knight Case IH is the title sponsor of the Outlaws. The Black Knight is a big demonstration tractor that they take around to shows. And then those big LSW Titan tires or Goodyears are made by Titan Tire, which sponsors the Young Guns. That's part of the Outlaws. So I'll let this Outlaw, or I'll let the State Fair one hook up a little bit. There's National Anthem. There's Kurt always does a prayer. Burgundy Freeze is singing. And then there's that's Kim. She's a VP from Titan Tire, talking a little bit about what they got going on. Yeah, this is Wednesday because the crowd looks bigger, Josh.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to scroll ahead to get into some videos here, let some stuff play. So, but 2 tracks, great time. Put the Iowa State Fair on your bucket list next year, and then putting Wisner on there. I had a lot of fans coming to me, Josh, say, "Wow, what are you doing out here?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm running Outlaw points this year." "Oh, that's cool. We figured you'd be in Bowling Green." And I'm like, "Well, they don't have our class in Bowling Green anyway." But I said, "I have my merchandise trailer in Bowling Green, but we've heard great things about Bowling Green, but Wisner's 20 minutes from our house, or Wisner's 45 minutes from our house." And so, I think the pulling world thinks that only Bowling Green's going on this weekend. There was Shelbyville, Kentucky going on. Ferrets Bay was running that down there. Wisner, of course, was going on. And there was a lot of other pulls as well. So pulling is worldwide now, or nationwide, Josh. You know what I mean? So it's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. So Doug Bowe says track was good at the Iowa State Fair. It was. He's getting the gremlins worked out of the Griffin a little bit. So do you have the mods in Chickasha this weekend?
Yes, we do have the mod class here in Chickasha this weekend. I talked to Doug just a little bit ago. He's planning on having the Griffin up here, so everything looked all right on it after Wisner.
There was an amazing modified class in Wisner with Killmeyer showing up, and then Kent or Keith Urban show up?
Greg Urban and Kent Urban.
Okay, they're the mechanics for Purser, right?
Not Greg. Kent is.
Okay.
Excuse me, I can't talk. Kent is Purser's crew chief.
Okay.
So he runs with him throughout the summer as well. And then, he used to be the crew chief for Connie Coletta in the NHRA. So the man knows engines and knows how to make them perform.
Yes, he does. That's awesome. So, yes, the Griffin will be there. And we do have some videos up on the Outlaw Facebook page and the Beer Money Pulling Team YouTube page of the Griffin. We did that. I did a behind the helmet with the Princes, with the Allisons from Canada. Josh, I think that's going off this week, so I'm excited about that. A lot of good stuff happening. In the comments, if you went to the Iowa State Fair, or if you went to Wisner, or you went to both, tell us what you enjoyed, and I'll put those up on the screen there. But I kind of want to transition this into Thunder and Tornado Alley tractor pull. Josh, again, an Outlaw announcer and an Outlaw promoter. There are 2 Outlaw events this weekend. I do not want to squash on Madison, South Dakota. Madison, South Dakota is Saturday night. 2-wheel drives, 4-wheel drives, 540 light pros, light limited pros, light supers, super farms, and unlimited super stocks. Again, I have all that. You guys download the Outlaw truck and tractor pulling app, live results, everything you need to do all of that. It makes it great. And then, of course, Chickasha, Oklahoma. Chickasha, Oklahoma is well known for Mr. Dave Bennett, one of the most famous announcers in the sport of truck and tractor pulling. The cowboy hat announces the farm show. He's from Chickasha. Now, he got this pull going, Josh, and then it kind of went away for a while. What's the history of this event in Chickasha?
Yeah, Dave, back in the 90s, early 2000s, they had a sweep that they would do. They would pull Missouri. I think they pulled Kansas. Then they would do a couple in Oklahoma and end the week down at De Leon, Texas. That lasted for quite a few years up until 2011, I think it was.
Okay.
forgive me if I'm wrong on the date there, but then there were some issues with scheduling conflicts at the fair board here and what have you. So the Chickasha pool got removed from the schedule.
Okay.
They pulled a couple of more years after that up in Enid and Longdale, Oklahoma. And then things just panned out as they did, and those pools went away as well. So for a long time, there were no sanctioned pools at all here in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Well, last year we were fortunate enough to get everything worked out, able to bring the show back to Chickasha. Dave gave me some contacts, told me some people to talk to, kind of helped me out some on, hey, you should look at making sure this is done and that's done. And he gave me a lot of time and a lot of advice. And then me and my wife were able to get this show off the ground and rolling last year. We just done one night. Justin Gallion stepped in, helped us out some with some dirt work on the track and stuff. And well, Saturday night when we were done pulling, it was pretty well decided that, hey, next year's got to be 2 days. It went good enough. Everything went fine. Everybody loved it. Got to be 2 days. So we started planning. Literally the Monday after last year's show, we started planning this year as a 2-day event. Talked to the fair board. We were able to get the same weekend, which ties in perfectly because we're wrapped in with the county fair.
Okay, I was going to ask you that, Josh.
The county fair here starts Thursday. Well, the carnival and everything opens Thursday. The fair actually opens tomorrow.
Okay.
For the exhibits and booths and livestock shows. And then the carnival will open Thursday, and everything runs through Saturday night. So we're tied in with that. And that's, if I have a hard time hearing you, it's been quiet out here for 30 minutes. And now that we're trying to do this, they got some forklifts over here running and moving some things around. And I'm doing it on my phone, so the speakers aren't near as good. I'm not sure why, but my phone is not getting very loud right now. So
it's fine. Totally fine. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Outlawed Live. Josh Runion, Outlaw announcer, Outlaw promoter of the Chickasha, Oklahoma poll this Friday and Saturday night in Chickasha, Oklahoma. Just talking about that. We're sharing some video of the Iowa State Fair last Wednesday as well. And we are on the downhill slide now of the Outlaw season. There's really just about 3 weeks left. Besides Lufkin, Texas, snuck way out there into October. But for most of the classes, everything will get wrapped up here in the next 3 weeks, with Spencer, Iowa being the last hook on Sunday, where a lot of the points races are decided. So, Josh, what was your promoting a poll is tough. You know how much work it is.
Mm-hmm.
What makes a guy say, you know what, I want to put on a poll in Chickasha?
Well, I used to come to the poll here in Chickasha. I migrated out here in the early 2000s from West Virginia. And the first year I was here, I was driving through town, and at that point I hadn't been to a pull in probably 5 years. I'd spent some time out in New Mexico area and stuff and just hadn't had the opportunity to go. And the first year that I was here, I was driving through town on a Tuesday, and there was a pro stock 4-wheel drive sitting at O'Reilly's. And as soon as I seen that truck, I said, wait a minute, I know what that is. That's a pulling truck. And I whooped in and got the information, and hey, the folk pulls out here. And so I came every year that it was here, and then it went away for a while, and I don't want to say I got out of pulling, but I got disconnected with it, if you will.
Yep.
Life took turns. I was driving a semi over the road all the time, wasn't able to get to the shows I wanted to. And as life would have it, a few years ago, I was able to get away from that, get a job where I was home every day with wife and kids. And we went to a show back in 2019 in White Wright, Texas. And the wife, up until that point, she had only ever seen it on television. And anybody that's ever been to a show knows that watching it on TV is cool and all, but being there in person is a whole nother experience. And so after that, things just took a turn. We decided we wanted to have a shot at it, and got into the announcing deal, and from there it's grown. So here we are.
How did you get started as an announcer, Josh?
It was actually a weird turn of events. We were at that show in White Wright, And about halfway through the show, the sound system quit. You know, it happens at pulls, technical difficulties, whatever the case may be. And so I'm telling her just what's going on. It happened to be during a class I knew extremely well. The modified class was pulling at that point. I knew every one of the vehicles, every one of the pullers. So I'm telling her who they are, where they're from, what they're running, what they do for a living. And 30 minutes later, there's probably 40 people kind of huddled around us listening to what's going on because there's still no sound system. And we leave, and we were driving home, and she looked over at me and said, you know, that's what you ought to do. I said, what do you mean? She said, you ought to be an announcer. And I looked at her, and at the time, I blatantly told her, I said, I don't want to be an announcer. I want to be a puller. I want to have a vehicle and go pulling.
Yeah.
And as women have a tendency to do, she reality checked me real quick and said, well, you can't afford that, but you can afford to announce. And so from that grew into a conversation with Mr. Bennett. I knew he was getting close to retirement, and he put me in touch with Kurt Van Beek, and we moved into the season of 2020. And I was supposed to go to a couple different pulls to do a working audition, if you will, that got canceled. Ended up getting to do one in Springfield that year. I went up to Mexico the following weekend and helped out. I was just going up to that show, wasn't supposed to do anything. I got there, they were shorthanded. So I helped out, teched and flagged at that event. And Kurt called me a couple of weeks later and asked me basically how much announcing I wanted to do next year because he was in need of one and liked the way that I thought that I talked and what I did. And so it's grown from there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Alex Abraham says, I went to Wisner on Saturday and I thought it was great because I got to meet Tyler Paddock and Kaysen Petch, a couple young guns. So that's
Two
super
good
cool.
people right there.
Yes, they are. And then somebody says, Wisner probably had the best heavy modified show I'd ever watched. So, yeah, the mod class was awesome there. Absolutely awesome. Because we had turbines, we had Griffins, we had Hemis, we had it all. And it was pretty cool and Allisons. Allisons get me, they make me excited, Josh. I love the sound of them. I love the sound of them. So,
yeah, that was a great show up there this past weekend. That was the best modified turnout I've seen outlaw-wise in a long time.
Yep.
You know, we had, like you said, not to double state anything, but with the Allisons, the Hemis, the Chevys, the Packard, the Rolls Griffin, the turbines. I mean, there was so much variation at that show.
Garrett, this is from the Iowa State Fair last Wednesday. We are streaming the replay of outlawpulling.tv. So Garrett's watching on YouTube right now. Julie says, was fun to see Megan Paddock take a win on Saturday. Yes, it was. That was her first outlaw win, right, Josh?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Yep. I like that. So Brian Fear says, I don't like Allison's, laugh out loud. I understand. Esden Lane didn't get to go down the track, but he, a lot of fans, Josh, there are a lot of boys aged from probably 6 to 22 that are named Esden because of Esden Lane. And I had a kid sit on my tractor named Esden, and he's named after Esden Lane. And I just thought that was super cool. And I tried to get him over to Esden, but we couldn't find him. But there's a lot of Esdens. That was something I wanted to mention. There's a lot of kids named Esden because of the King of Smoke. So pretty cool. So
yeah, I'm not sure what it is with that Wisner track and Esden Lane. If he was Superman, I would say that's his kryptonite. If you remember, he showed up there last year.
Yep.
And had issues getting it down the track, and it's just so abnormal for that man and that machine to have a problem of that caliber where he can't get it down the track. It was disappointing because I know he wanted to come put on a great show for all the fans. Yep. But still great to see him out there.
It was. Yeah, this was definitely Wednesday. Look, the crowd, I mean, it was full. It was so good to see that looking across the track.
Fantastic.
And to see that full out there. We're watching the Pro Stock 4x4s right now, and I think the Super Farm class are 2 classes going up there. And what you're seeing on the screen is what you see with outlawpulling.tv, and it's what we actually play on the big sponsor boards as well, or the big video boards at the event. Yeah. And again, I turn the sound off during Outlawed Live because that way you can hear Josh and I. But I think this is a good way to do the show. Our numbers are really, really strong tonight, Josh. I think the video is intriguing for everybody watching, and they can still hear what we're talking about, the events we're talking about, and some of the information behind the scenes that we do. So
absolutely.
So usually I know we're not done yet, but usually Kaya will message me about now and get me the winners for the banner and the hats for the Ultimate Case IH experience. Again, we're giving away banners signed by all the winners every week, and then I think a Case IH hats, and then at the end of the year there's going to be 2 giveaways. And even if you win a banner, you can still win the grand prize, which is tickets to the National Farm Machinery Show, hotel, gas, the whole deal, in Louisville, Kentucky in February. So go to the Outlaw website, outlawpolling.com, and click on the Ultimate Case IH fan experience, and you're able to sign up for that. So this Wild Thing truck is out of Wisconsin, actually pulled with the Dole family for years. Josh, right up here, like 3 miles from my house. So then it recently, I think 3 or 4 years ago, went out to I think these guys are in Iowa now or Nebraska. I can't remember exactly. So
yeah, good looking old Dodge right there for sure.
Russ Dostal says best Wisner show I've ever been to. Lots of awesomeness over those 2 days. And Russ got lucky. Russ is a super fan of truck and tractor pulling. All the pullers know him. And Mark Ulmer won the Thunderbolt and autographed it and gave it to Russ. Yeah. So that's super cool. I'm going to find that picture and put that up on the screen. So
I seen that on Facebook. That was a cool deal right there. That shows the class of the pullers that we have in the Outlaws. I mean, yeah, not saying you won't see it anywhere else, but to see those types of things, that really goes a long way to speak for the caliber of guys we have.
Yep. I think everybody knows what they got going on, you know what I mean, and how it works. So here's a picture of Russ, and there's the Thunderbolt there. So that's pretty cool. Mark Ulmer on the right on your screen, and then Russ Dostal on the left. And Russ goes to a lot of pulls. He brought a bunch of his friends over to Rockwell that had never been to a pull before, and brought the same family out to Wisner this past weekend. I got to see them. So for Ulmer to do that, Josh, that's so cool. And that's one thing I need to slow down and do a little show prep and make sure I tell all of these stories, Josh, because some weeks we're so busy that we kind of forget all the little things that actually are big things. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I really want to focus on more. Just kind of critiquing myself when I'm running the shows. There's so many little stories that we see in different things. It's hard to keep up with it. Like Conley Metting, Saturday afternoon, got to make a test pass. He's the second person ever to drive a bulletproof buck other than his dad. And you and I saw him drive Bullfrog down in Nordheim, and that kid's going to be a driver. He's just calm, cool, and collective. So
that boy's been paying attention is all I can say. Yeah. I mean, he drove that pro stock like he's been doing it for years.
Yep. So Mark Ulmer, thank you for doing that for Russ. Russ, you almost saw a fat guy, me, cry when Mark did that. So that would have been worth crying. Don't feel bad about that. That would have been worth crying there. So Thomas Kimmons has been asking if you're ready yet. Josh, let me find that comment.
I can't see any of the comments, so
that's okay.
Me out and put them on screen here.
No, I know you're on your phone. That's why I'm doing it. Yeah, Josh, you ready yet? Laugh out loud. Kicking and screaming. Is kicking and screaming ready?
Best answer I could give you, Thomas, is no.
No.
But we're going to do it regardless.
Yep. Clint just needs to go ahead and buy another pro stock for him. Yep, he sure does. But I don't. That'd be the longest trailer in the world.
I'm telling you.
Yep. That'd be
Jason,
long.
have you ever seen both the pro stocks and the Jeep loaded in the trailer?
Yep.
Have you ever noticed that the weight box of one of them actually sets in the living quarters?
Yep.
Yeah. So.
No, that's awesome. That is awesome.
But it won't be long. Connor will be old enough to drive a second haul rig. So.
Yep. Jared Setter says, "See you Thursday, Josh." One of our tech officials. He's got his profile picture is him and Esden Lane.
I'll be here, Jared.
Yep. So, how's the weather looking for you, Josh?
Weather is looking awesome. Last week there was a little bit of a scare of rain, but that's kind of changed, leveled out. We got some rain Sunday and a little bit of rain yesterday. So that's done nothing but help. Just less water I got to put into the track. but the weather is supposed to be in the mid to upper 80s during the day, high 60s at night, clear and sunny.
Now, do you take vacation this week, Josh, or what do you got going on?
Say that one more time.
Did you take some vacation? Did you take some days off this week?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I'm not able to make as many shows as I want is I took 4 days off for this deal here. I was off today, and I'll be off through the weekend so that I can get everything ready down here. That's what we've been working on, set up all day and getting bleachers placed where we want them and getting our roads like we need them to get pullers in and out as efficiently as possible. Tomorrow, we're going to start putting up banners and sound and all that. So we get a little closer to the end, I'll take you on I'll give you the dime tour here.
I like it. Do you shoot? I'll give me 10 seconds to find my train of thought. Oh, how many polls are there in Oklahoma? Like, are there associations out there or what? I mean, there's not a lot of pulling in Oklahoma, is there?
There's some garden pulling and there's some antique pulling, but this is the only sanctioned pull in the state of Oklahoma.
Okay. Because I watched the live stream last year on outlawpulling.tv, and you guys had a super big crowd. I was super happy for you. And then you were doing the giveaways, you and Bennett, and that was a lot of fun. So
yeah, we've got people already that I know are coming from Arkansas. We got fans coming out of Texas, Kansas, Missouri. We got some coming all the way from Ohio. So it's going to be a fantastic show.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Who are some of the sponsors and stuff you want to thank, Josh, for this?
First and foremost, O'Reilly Auto Parts. They stepped up. They were a big sponsor last year, and they stepped up this year and helped us out just immensely. Right behind them would be Elite Transmissions, a local transmission shop right here in town. Small Engine Services, Twisted Oak Compost up out of Edmond up there.
Okay.
Great folks. That's Justin Gallion runs it. He blessed us enough and sponsored the show this year. Helped us get the big screen down here, so that's just going to be an added attraction for this year.
He's got the lot of dirt mod, right?
He had it.
He had it. Where's it at now?
He sold his mod and his two-wheeler at the end of last year. Greg Urban out of Nebraska now has the lot of dirt mod. I think he calls it Get Fired Up.
Okay.
And then the two-wheel drive went to Irvin Clark out of New York with Taz.
Yes.
He's got the wild side now.
Okay. I did not know that. That's good information there. So.
And then we've got so many of our local sponsors, that have helped us out in any way they can. You see Elite Transmission there. We put that post up, and that's my fault. I don't have the time and basically the knowledge and do near enough on Facebook, but we've got, I just drew a blank. Pro Auto Care, Line X, so many sponsors that we need to be thanking. If you'll pull up that purple shirt right there, right above my head.
Yep, I'm just sharing your video around to Beer Money right now. Give me a second.
Gotcha. That is a full list of our sponsors right there. And that video, the credits for that video, there was a gentleman named Don Price that was down here last year, made a highlight video. So all the film credit to that comes from him. So
awesome.
Those are just little clips we took out of his video.
So O'Reilly Auto Parts, Small Engine Services, Twisted Oak Products, J&E Trace Service, Justin's Tire Service, Okies, Newt's Welding, Dutton Rental, Bob Lowe Farm Machinery, Washita Fertilizer, Wing Tees, Car Print Shop, Express Tire, X.
That's Line X and Chickasha. When I uploaded the PDF, I guess for some reason it didn't like it. And it cut off the Line X and it cut the N and S off of Elite Transmissions.
Gotcha. Joe Bob Bail Bond. Hey, are the Bail Bond people going to be there in person, Josh? At the
they will be here in person. Get your Joe Bob Get Out of Jail Free T-shirt.
Is he a big dude like that? What was that famous show? Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh yeah. No, Joe Bob's not a great big old boy, but he just old country boy like the rest of us. He sells T-shirts at his shop. If you're arrested for a misdemeanor while you're wearing his shirt, he'll post your bail for nothing.
Josh, that's some good advertising. Say that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If you're wearing his T-shirt while you get arrested for a misdemeanor, he'll post a bail.
He will. And believe it or not, there are people that own 7 of them and have one on 7 days a week under whatever else they're wearing.
Just in case, right?
Yeah, it never hurts to have a backup plan.
Oh, I love it. R&M Body Shop, CJ's Getting Split, Hicks Company, Creative Concept.
Hicks is our local Western wear store. They've got all the Red Wing boots and the fancy pretty jeans and all that good stuff. So,
yep. Pro Auto Care, Cabin Wrecker Service, Miller Tool Company, Rocky Mountain Grill, CL Boyd, Bates Repair Service, and Elite Transmission. So I want a selfie of you and Joe Bob. If you could make that happen this weekend.
I can do that for you. I can get you a selfie of me and Joe Bob.
I just
Creative Concepts, if you can see it.
Yeah.
They're the ones that made that awesome Thunder and Tornado Alley tractor pull hat.
I like that.
We've got 4 different colors of hats. So it's a limited number. We only got 4 dozen, but we do have some hats this year. So make sure and get you a Thunder and Tornado Alley tractor pull cap. And you never know. If you're around Chickasha and I see you wearing it, I might just hand you a pair of tickets for the next show.
Yeah, maybe give them a Joe Bob bail bond T-shirt.
There you go.
So, no, I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. So do you want to do a little bit of a tour for us, Josh?
Yeah, I can take you on a little nickel tour here.
Yeah, I got you on full screen right now. So
trying to see if there's a way I can switch my camera. Okay.
There should be,
I'm just going to turn you around this way.
That's fine.
Make noise if I start pointing at the sky or something because I can't really see you.
Sounds good.
There's our covered bleachers. So we do have some covered grandstands down here. That's always nice.
Yes.
And then on the other side, we're setting bleachers up. This over here is the staging area. Obviously, the track.
Yep.
And behind the staging area, one cool thing about this show, especially if you're setting in these bleachers, you get to watch everybody working on stuff down here and all the way through the staging lanes. That fence panel you see right there will come out, but that's where everybody will line up and scale, coming in, getting ready to hit the track.
Okay.
And then over here, we've got our ticket booths on either side. We're going to have one of our screens rolling sponsors setting up on top of that building. All kinds of signs and banners hung around the place. It's a really cool little deal here.
That's neat. Now that red dirt, is it taking power down there, Josh? You get it? How do you make a red dirt track take power?
Well, it's got a lot of clay in it.
Okay, that's good.
So that's a plus. Cole's iTech loves the red dirt.
Okay.
But it's got a lot of clay in it. That helps us out. When we take it down, anywhere from 2 to 3 feet.
Okay.
We'll come in here with a grader, roll the top off of it, and then we'll cut 2 to 3 feet down in it. And that gets us down to pretty good dirt. And then I'll be out here all week putting water on it. We'll water it in the mornings, water it in the evening, get plenty of sub-base moisture down in it. So
Friday, August 26th, Saturday, August 27th, 7 p.m. start time. Tickets are $20. Kids 5 and under free. Gates open at 4:30. Cash only, it says on there. And all of our classes we have modified tractors, pro stock tractors, modified 4-wheel drive trucks, and pro stock diesel trucks. That sound right?
Yep, that's our main classes. Then we'll also have some extras. We're going to have the Addington boys out of Daisy, Oklahoma. They'll be up here with their sheet metal tractors, the Texas sheet metal class. 2 of those guys will be up here in 1963 and older rear ends, small block engines. Fun little tractors to watch. We'll have 2 of them. We've got a couple of semis going to be here to pull. And then I believe we're going to have another guest appearance from the Uncle Sam machine. So,
how many motors is he putting on for that?
He'll probably come with the full assortment of 5.
Okay.
Bring the full arsenal with him. No guarantee on that, but we're hoping to have him.
Now he's not far away, is he?
No, he's 30 minutes up the road.
Nice.
But if he does like he did last year, he'll pull in Ohio on Friday, load up truck over here overnight, and pull here on Saturday.
Okay. Gotcha.
We may have him both nights. We may only get him one. We may not get him at all.
Yeah, I
Nothing's
saw.
guaranteed.
I know there's an unlimited hook somewhere in Ohio this weekend for NTPA on Friday. So.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
But we hope he shows up. He always puts on a good show.
So if people go to O'Reilly, Josh, and Chickasha, well, how much can they save, and when do they have to end that by?
Well, and it's not just O'Reilly's and Chickasha. Every O'Reilly's within the state of Oklahoma or within a 150-mile radius is selling tickets. You get $2 off the face value, so they're $18 a piece.
Okay.
And you can buy tickets there all the way through Saturday.
Okay.
There is no cutoff on them. If you're on your way at 8 o'clock Saturday night, you can stop at O'Reilly's and still save yourself $2 a ticket.
Nice.
And then when you get here, we have 2 identical ticket booths. One of them is set up for cash sales. The other one is set up specifically for the O'Reilly ticket sales.
Okay.
You bring your receipt with you. It lists how many you bought, such as that. They swap it out right there for a ticket, and you're in the gate. Don't have to stand in line and wait.
Yeah. The coal roller is not going to be in Chickasha unless he jumps in the pro stock class. So I don't think he'll do that. But Eufaula, how far is Eufaula from Chickasha?
Eufaula's 2 hours.
Okay. So.
I thought, do the 4-1s not hook in Madison?
No, they do not.
Okay. I haven't heard Dusty say he's coming, but if he shows up, we'll let him make a run with her.
Yeah, he might do that. Dusty's he's came on. I told him how proud I am to buy a tractor and jump in and be as competitive as he is first year. He's doing an amazing job with the coal rollers.
Well, and he was here last year. That's what got him on the hunt to buy a tractor.
Ah, okay.
They came and watched the show last year and decided they wanted to go pulling, so that's when they started hunting for a tractor. As high as he is in the points race, I would seriously doubt we see him this year.
I would agree with that statement.
Yep. Because you never know when the next run will be your last run.
Yep.
And with the way parts are going right now, nobody can afford to break anything.
Right.
So
Yes,
I
sir.
doubt
Yes,
we'll
sir.
see him bring the coal roller over, but show up Friday and Saturday and find out for yourself.
Exactly. Well, again, we're showing some video of the Iowa State Fair from last week. It was so good to see everybody out at the event. Well, we encourage all of you to head out to Chickasha, Oklahoma this Friday and Saturday night, 7 o'clock start time. The only sanctioned pull in the state of Oklahoma, put on by our very own Josh Runion, an Outlaw announcer and an Outlaw promoter. And then I want to go through the other events going on this weekend as well. So on the Heartland Circuit, Randolph, Iowa is this Saturday night, August 27th at 6 p.m. And it looks like they have their full list of lineups there. Go to the Outlaw app for all the classes. And also Madison, South Dakota is an Outlaw show on Saturday night as well. And then the following weekend, we go to Windsor, Colorado, Grand Island, Nebraska, Unionville, Missouri, Buckner, Missouri, and then Spencer, Iowa. And then the season ends with Lufkin, Texas. I cannot believe the season's almost done, Josh. So,
yeah,
it has gone fast.
Yeah, I just pulled up the stuff on Madison, Jason. They've got a big lineup up there. They got the 4-wheel drives. They've got a 2-wheel drive. It's a state hook. It's not a points hook. It's a state hook. They got the 4-wheel drives, the 540s. They've got the 8500 limited pros, light super stocks, super farms, unlimited super stocks. So they're going to have quite a show up there as well.
Yes, they are. There's been a lot of comments about people excited for Madison, and so I mean that's a good thing. I know Mark Ham's going to be there. He commented. So I don't think there's a lot of big outlaw hooks in South Dakota either. You know, Josh, kind of like Oklahoma. So it's good to mix it up a little bit.
For them this year. I know last year they got rained out, but hopefully that all holds out for them this year. They get to have a good show.
Yep. Good deal. One question we always ask is, with this being a fair, there's no carry-ins, right? You buy everything at the fair, right?
Yeah, no coolers allowed in. You have to buy everything on site. But there is plenty here. We've got the way it's set up. You kind of seen on the deal. This arena is all gated off. But there's 4 food vendors and a beer vendor that sets up inside the arena.
Okay.
So you can get your food, get your beer, whatever, while you're still watching the show. Obviously, we'll have Delton with DPP set up in the arena.
Yep.
And then if you decide you want something else, kids want to go ride the carnival rides, whatever, the fair is 100 yards from where we're set up.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And the only thing out here that costs money is the tractor pull tickets, the food, and wristbands for the carnival rides. As far as the fair, if you want to walk through, see the livestock, you want to come walk through and see our pit area, it's outside where you can access it. You just want to walk around, see what's going on, hang out with your friends, whatever the case may be. Absolutely free on all that. So
good stuff. Good stuff. How big is Chickasha, Josh?
Chickasha is 25,000 people.
Okay, so it's a pretty good sized town. So
Decent sized town. We coming up in the world.
yep, I like it.
Mama's happy. We getting us a Starbucks. So
Oh,
you know we're official when you get a Starbucks.
yeah, I live in Richland Center, Wisconsin. There will never be a Starbucks here, Josh. So,
I thought that about Chickasha, but by God, it's coming.
yeah, maybe I'll be long gone before there's ever a Starbucks in Richland Center, Wisconsin. But that's okay. That's okay. There's other good coffees out there as well. What's your favorite beer, Josh?
My favorite beer, Silver and Blue, Mick Ultra.
Mick Ultras. That's what Doug Meisinger was sipping on in his trailer Saturday morning when I stopped by to congratulate him on just keeping on winning. So Dagenhartz and Goodwin pushed him though a little bit. That was good to see this past weekend. So
I've been drinking that ultralight for years and it still ain't working. I'm still just as bad as I ever was, but sooner or later, maybe.
Sooner or later. The one question we always ask on Let's Grow Pulling is if you could steal the keys to any pulling vehicle and go pull it anywhere, Josh, what would you, whose or what would it be and where would you take it?
Does it have to be current?
Nope.
Tim Engler running 5 Aries motors in the Pontiac Silverdome in '89.
Awesome. Do you have any video of that by any chance?
Do I have a video of that?
Yeah.
No, but I can tell you where to find it.
Okay, where at?
Go on YouTube, search USHRA Pontiac 1989.
USHRA, right?
Yep, USHRA Pontiac 1989. He got into a 3-way pull-off with Dave Banner and Art Arfons, and they actually were supposed to go to a triple pull-off. In the pull-off, all 3, that picture right there with Arfons.
My name is Mark Gibbon. I'm
But in
the
the first
owner
pull-off,
of
all 3 of them made a pull.
Marty Reed and Mike Galloway with you.
And 2 of them suffered breakage. So,
Well, let's watch this. How about that?
yeah.
In Pontiac, Michigan. And does anybody need a light? Because Gary Mills is about ready to light up this crowd.
I think that may be a Bud Light.
One to Go is the name of the tractor. From
While we're watching this,
Maryland,
I will say that
T60.
if everything works out,
Yeah,
there's
watch
going
this
to be
thing,
a surprise Saturday night, but one of the 2 voices you're hearing will be here in Chickasha announcing.
What?
If everything works out right, Mike Galloway is going to come over and announce for us a little bit Saturday while I am tied up doing something else.
He lives in St. Louis, right?
No, he lives right here.
He lives in Chickasha?
Yep, Mike Galloway and Dave Bennett, both from Chickasha, Oklahoma.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. And how I fit into the mix, I ain't got a clue because my resume ain't even fitting to sit on the same desk as them 2.
No, yeah, it's not. That doesn't even get in the door. That's amazing. Galloway, what a voice! What a voice! That'd be how old is Mike now?
Oh, I don't want to piss nobody off, but I would say he's pushing 65.
Okay, that's fair.
Mike, if you're listening and I'm wrong, don't kill me. Please
Don't
still
kill
come
me.
to my show.
3/4 of an inch. He could have sneezed a little bit.
Well, coming up now is Charlie Wilcox with Plum Nasty and her.
We gotta find.
Yeah, skip
Engler.
it just a little bit farther.
Way as we're back. I'm ready.
There's
But
Banner making the full pull.
for this 7,200-pound class. He can run 6. Said that he can build one at
I
home
missed the
that's
series
like
that
7
these
or
were
8.
in, Jason.
Ask you a
The
question.
indoor winter shows with the
Yeah.
alcohol tractors and monster trucks.
It's really what put pulling on the map, I think.
And 60,000 fans packed into the arenas watching them.
Yep.
So, Marty, that's the way
That's
you
awesome.
do it.
There he
you
is.
go.
6-inch engines on board. And earlier, Mike Galloway
Five.
had a chance to talk to Tim.
5 big Aries motors.
Marty, Tim Engler, tell us a little bit about Mission Impossible. You got the motors put everywhere.
Well, that's true, Mike. I tell you what, actually, the tractor, the way we're going to run tonight is set up with 5 engines on it. We're going to be running a 7,200-pound modified class, and we do something a little bit different. We run our engines crossways. Basically, that's by using a 90-degree transfer type gearbox that transfers the power from the engine sitting sideways back to a straight shaft that goes back toward the rear end of the tractor. We do have one engine sitting up on top that's running down through a 90-degree or a vertical box that actually transfers the power back to the bottom shaft and made up with the 90-degree gearboxes. From that point, then everything goes through one shaft to a pinion in the rear end. But we do kind of like to be known for doing things different, and we're looking forward to.
Look at the smile on Galloway's face. I love it.
Going through the 90-degree boxes.
We lose less power going through the 90-degree gearbox because it's
Hey, Marty, how'd you like to buy fuel for those?
I'd hate to be the mechanic who has to tune them. How do you keep 5
Yeah,
of
if
them?
I had my choice, that would be my ride right there.
Run in and get you a set of plugs.
Yeah, the crowds they got, Josh, at these big indoor polls over the years, just gigantic.
Yeah.
Taking them in and pulling them out.
Look at him. He's all on the right-hand side. This track is pulling these guys to the left. He's going to the right to compensate. Look at the pulling. Whoa, what a run. Unbelievable. My heavens, this was a walk in the park for that man.
Tim Engler waved to the crowd.
Okay, so there's a pull off too, Josh?
Yeah, I think it's into the next section, or the next little section. The video's broke up into like 5 parts for the entire show.
And just building this tractor.
Banner, Engler, and Arfons go into a pull-off.
Making a dream a reality.
And long story short, all 3 of them make the full pull again.
Turbines up. Get ready. The crowd.
And Banner and Arfons had some problems, so they give the win to Engler that night.
Okay.
But they were set up and geared to go for a triple pull-off.
Triple
But
pull off.
Arfons and Banner said, look, we're broke.
Critical.
Enough is enough.
RPM have to be up to maximum power.
What would happen if he miscalculated?
The motors will shut down. The power will come
That's
off.
a machine I wish we could see out again as well, the Green Monster.
Produced as a mass production gasoline motor. Now, we've seen this before. The left motor's lit. I don't think the right motor ever fired. The right motor may have never fired. Arfon's in the air. He's got ground speed. Yes, it is lit. He's going to go out.
Arfons brings the crowd to
That
their
man right
feet.
there was a innovator for this
They
sport, if
bet-
ever there was one.
Yeah, it's so cool to hear the crowd just hollering too, Josh. I love that.
Yeah.
It makes me extremely happy. I'm going to go find the video of Conley Menning on his dad's Pro Stock. That's how we round out the show last night, and that's how we're going to – well, no, I got the pedal. I want to show the pedal pull, too, from the Iowa State Fair. This is pretty cool.
You got the video of him making that test hit?
I do, yep. Here's the hold on a second. I got to get everything queued up. Here's from the Iowa State Fair, the kids pedal pull, Josh. This was a lot of fun.
All right, no much better. So, thank you so much for coming out.
And it's so cool, Josh, because a bunch of the pulling tractors, the young guns would have their tractors on display. And
there
was like posters, and they were going around getting autographs. It was awesome.
That will be happening here at noon, along with the rest of the pullers. When you register, make sure you get your
we're gonna have a
Titan Young Guns
pedal pull
hat,
down here
your
Saturday that we'll-
poster, and your souvenir.
We're going to do our best to have, I believe, the only young gun we'll have here over there with his tractor. So
Right.
meet them, get those autographs and those pictures, and they're actually going to let you sit in their tractors here this morning, so take advantage of that.
We did this right behind the grandstands, Josh.
Get those autographs.
Oh, yeah?
So that was pretty cool. And there was a lot of, there was 183 kids, I think, total. So.
Wow.
To 10 o'clock. Registration is girls up here on the.
My goodness.
Keep going. Is that it? Is that all you got?
Yep.
Come on, girl.
She has her outlaw hat on, so that's pretty cool. Every kid got a hat as well.
Keep going. Come on. Good job. Ready? Go.
Come on back over
That's
here.
good stuff right there.
Yeah, it was really neat because I remember being a kid, Josh, and pedal pulls were everything to me. I loved them. I used to put weights in my little red wagon and I'd pedal around the house back in the day.
Yeah, sure.
Back in the day. But no, it was neat to see that these little kids on there and then to see their faces when they saw like Daly and Tyler and Kaysen and Connor Medding and all those big tractors, and even adults were like, wow, because at the Iowa State Fair it's not as easy to get into the pits there, and so to have that all out there, that was pretty fun to see them do all that. So I'm gonna find Conley.
Well, Jason, I think I'm gonna let you finish this out and play some videos. If I'm gonna put on a pull, I got to get back to work.
Yep. Hey, good luck this weekend, buddy.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. Make sure to come out if you're available this weekend. Check us out here in Chickasha, Oklahoma. Thunder and Tornado Alley, the 2nd annual. And here's to many more to come, right?
Yes, sir. Good job. Thank you for being a promoter, Josh. There's not many people crazy enough to do that, so we appreciate you, buddy.
I don't know if it's brave or crazy, but we're doing
it. Take care, bud.
Thank you. Bye.
So this is Conley Medding. That's his dad, Clint, up there on the tractor with him. Conley's 15. You got to be 16 to drive in competition in the Outlaws. So he was allowed to make a test hook Saturday afternoon when there wasn't a full one on. So there was also Taylor Van Beek made a test pass and then Alice Express.
Conley's
going to
pull first.
I'll let these play for a little bit.
Going to make a test pass. We'll figure out if you just do your thing.
Thanks for watching.
Pretend I'm not here. Okay. Unless the cops are looking for you, because quite a few people watch this. We'll get this going here. So let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're coming to Wisner tonight. Show starts at 5 o'clock. I am in the famous trees right now. Year-old Conley Medding making his first ever test pass on the first time Saturday. Taylor Van Beek working on the super stock a little bit, trying to get things figured out. Starting line. Like I said, this is the first run down this little line here. Hang tight with me, everybody. Taylor's going to make a test pass as well. Mr. Nelson's right there. This is exciting. We got to watch Conley make his first test pass ever on a pro stock here, Wisner, Nebraska. The pool starts at 5 o'clock tonight. You watch an Outlaw Pulling.tv. You can also, if you haven't downloaded the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling app yet, you put that on there as well. There's the big Dusty. He's going to go run and tell it. So this is Wisner, Nebraska. This is Conley Meddy, 15-year-old Conley Meddy, making his first ever test pass on his dad's big pro stock. One of the most recognized pro stocks out there, the 830. Bought from Lance Little probably 5-6 years ago now. I don't know the exact dates on it. They're from Nordheim, Texas. Full pro stocks with the Outlaws. Connor drives the bull wagon. His dad, Clint, is up there with him right now. Don't leave us after this. Taylor Van Beek's coming up with Extreme Pleasure. They've been trying to get the bugs worked out of the diesel super stock. And then I think the Alice Express light super stock is going to make an exhibition pass, well, test pass. It's cool. You do something like this here in the afternoon. So get the chain tight. It's time to go pulling. So hang tight, everybody. Let's wish Conley Meddy on. First time ever driving a big bad 10,000-pound pro stock.
Dave Novak. Sorry. Now, he was in the top spot here up until a week ago. He broke the front of the camshaft, I think. He broke the gear off the camshaft or something. Couldn't make a hook, so he went from first to third in the point standings just like that.
.354.03 the distance for David.
Crop stands stronger, bins feel faster, margins grow wider with DeKalb. A history of success starts with the consistent yield potential of DeKalb brand corn, featuring exclusive genetics, whole farm solutions, and unmatched DeKalb dealer support to help you realize a future of performance with DeKalb.
31.2 miles an hour for David Novak, and he will keep that distance at 354.03. So we are officially underway here in the limited pro stock class.
You know, on the
well, thanks for watching, everybody. Good luck to Josh Runion in Chickasha, Oklahoma this weekend, and good luck to the pullers in Madison, South Dakota, and then Randolph, Iowa for the Heartland Association. So continue to watch your Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling app on your phone. Go to outlawpulling.tv. And as always, thanks for watching Outlawed Live. Have a great night. Okay, whoa. This literally just came on as I was getting ready to push the button. Yeah, we'll share that around. Matt Becker is looking for 540 for his second natural aspirated for his own show this Friday, Oneida Truck and Tractor Pull. Okay, it's out there, Vince. Thanks, buddy. All right, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.